Hi everyone, happy Monday. Mm. See, this weekend I spent some time outdoors, went on an awesome hike with a friend that I hadn't seen in a while, and she and I were talking about just life and our all the goings on that happen when you're at our stage in life. And the topic of mindfulness came up a lot. And I noticed that as she was describing her experiences with mindfulness practices, so sort of being parts of meditation groups or reading books or listening to podcasts on, there's this sense that I got from her. She's like, yeah, I'm not really good at clearing my mind of thoughts. It just doesn't work. The mindfulness thing just doesn't happen. And I resisted dropping into this sort of, I don't know, teacher mode, right? Because no one wants to hang out with that guy all the time. But just listening to her,
Ollie, I can't hear you.
can anyone else hear me? Judith, can you hear me?
No.
I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
Okay. Okay.
I can hear you.
Sorry, not sure what's going on there, but okay. Sorry, I'll keep going just for the sake of time. Um, yes. So I noticed this frustrating. It sort of left me feeling sad that somewhere along the line she had gotten the message or even either been taught that this idea of mindfulness or meditation means that your mind is clear of thoughts for two reasons. The first one is it's impossible to do. As I'll hopefully demonstrate in this meditation that we're going to do, it's like it's just not possible to not be thinking or have the experience of thoughts. And then the second one is it creates a kind of negative association to thoughts. It's like thinking is a bad thing because clearly if I got rid of all my thoughts, then I'd be in a good spot. That's what I'm trying to, that's what I should be able to do. And so not only is it not possible, but it's also, thoughts are in and of themselves not bad. It's just a question of, can we hang out with our thoughts and our beliefs and our memories in such a way where we're clear as to what they are, and there's some other part of us that gets to choose our relationship to those experiences that we call thoughts, and that completely changes the way to be with them. So in that spirits of this idea of clearing our mind of thoughts, I think is a concept that we want to remove because it kind of creates this volatile situation where I just want to remind us that like the goal is not to stop thinking, but it's rather to stop identifying with the thoughts. And again, the presupposition here is that we want to choose to not identify with those thoughts, right? So the first step is becoming aware of the fact that we are thinking and then make that choice and say, yeah, that's, the content of those thoughts is not something I really want to engage in right now. Anyway, so it's probably best practiced or experienced rather than me putting out a whole bunch of conceptual ideas, but hopefully that's a kind of a primer for what I'm hoping to do in the next few minutes. So let's try it out. Let's close our eyes and start by dropping into just sensation. Just notice there's this cloud of sensation that includes your parts of your body, so the feet, the hands, eyes, all just sensation, and it's just happening all on its own. What I mean with that is there's a place that we can get to where we can become aware of the fact that sensations are happening. They're happening to us, to this conscious part of us. They just are what they are. My nose is not itchy right now. So there's almost like a sensory experience there. It's like I can notice my nose, and I can notice that it's not itching. But then focus on the ears and sound and hearing. And notice sounds in this moment. And notice how sounds are happening. They're out there somewhere. There's birds, or there's cars, or there's things happening that create the experience of hearing or sound. I can't really choose what sounds to hear, right? They're just happening out there. And all I can do is become aware of the fact that I'm hearing certain sounds at certain times, and then become aware of the quality of those sounds, like, oh, that's a car or that's a bird. There's two things going on. One is part of me that's hearing the sounds and noticing them and noticing the content of the sounds. And then there's this other part of me that is aware of the fact that I just heard sounds. I didn't get to choose what kind of sounds, but I'm nonetheless just noticing the type of sounds that my ears just picked up. And if the sounds were really loud and glaring and siren like, it might feel really uncomfortable. But if it's birds chirping or maybe even kids laughing on the playground, maybe it's even pleasant or enjoyable. And that's the content of the sounds. The content is either loud or blaring, or playful and fun or relaxing. And again, we don't get to choose the content, it's just happening out there. But we get to notice what it's like to hear these different kinds of sounds, and then also notice the impact it has on us. Oof, that's really uncomfortably loud right now. Oh, I want to move away from that. Or that's really pleasant music. I like it. I want to move towards it. And this is all a lead up to saying that thoughts and memories and ideas are the same thing. We don't choose them, they happen. We don't choose the content. We also don't choose our reactivity. We don't choose that there are some thoughts or ideas that are really loud and intense and they have us sort of shrink away. And there's other thoughts that are soothing and heart opening and calming. But just like sounds, the when they happen, the content, the intensity of our reaction to those sounds or thoughts, it's just something that happens way, way back. There's this other part of us that gets to be aware that this is all happening. And then we get to choose. What do I do with this loud, blaring thought? Do I want to lean in? Do I want to engage? Is it even true? Is it useful? Or that's wonderful. I'm really enjoying this mind wandering, remembering these awesome experiences. It feels great. But again, in both cases, we're not confusing us, the content, or the experience of those thoughts. So again, the goal is never to stop thinking. If anything, it might be to simply stop identifying or believing or being completely absorbed by those thoughts, because we forget that they're just things that are happening and they don't define us. They are not us. In my experience, we're no more capable of stopping the mind from thinking than we are stopping the ears from hearing or the eyes from seeing. Even when we close our eyes, we're still seeing lights and shapes, and there's nothing we can really do to stop that. That's okay. And that knowing and that awareness that we are not our thoughts or our sounds or our smells, that fundamentally, to me, is the definition of mindfulness. It's what it means to be mindful, to be aware, awake, bearing witness. And of course, there's also nothing wrong with the fact that most of the time we are actually pretty thought identified. Like we go through life, brain is designed to make those thoughts and those memories and those ideas really feel intense and personal and stuff we ought to pay attention to. And that's designed like that for a reason. And we can also flex this mindfulness muscle and at times remember that it's not the full story. And then there's this dance that happens where we go back and forth between being in it and being able to step outside of it. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale through the mouth. Hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, out, relaxing the eyes, the jaw, the neck, hands. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes, come on back. Um, yeah, hope that's a good reminder. Seemed like a really sort of pertinent experience that I had this weekend. Just to say, well, wait a second. I think being mindful is the thing that we're practicing here is different than clearing our mind of thoughts. So see you tomorrow, everyone. Thank you.